Welcome to Arina Photography. Come on into my kitchen studio, pull up a chair, make yourself at home, and don't mind the cookie crumbs. There's probably flour on the counter too. Just consider it part of the holiday decor. I'll pour us some coffee and we can chat while the oven warms up. I'm Arina, the hands and voice behind Arina Photography. I started out as a food photographer, but somewhere along the way I began sharing recipes, kitchen tips, and plenty of behind-the-scenes kitchen bloopers. And now, here we are in podcast form, like you're hanging out right here at my table. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite holiday traditions, giving homemade gifts for Christmas, specifically baked goods. Because, let's be honest, nothing spreads cheer faster than cookies, fudge, and sweets made with love. And if you want to try any of the recipes or see the tools I use, you can find everything on my blog and my YouTube channel at Arina Photography. Here's the thing. People are overwhelmed during the holidays. Shopping, wrapping, running from event to event, it's a lot. A box of homemade cookies or a batch of fudge feels like a little pause in all that chaos. It's comfort food in its purest form, and because it comes from your own oven, it carries a piece of your heart right into their hands. Honestly, I think that's what makes these gifts so memorable. The best part? They don't have to cost a fortune. A little butter, sugar, and chocolate can turn into something magical that people talk about long after the holidays. Plus, your whole house smells like a bakery, which is a gift for you too. For me, the stars of my Christmas gift boxes are always cookies, and sometimes a big batch of fudge, because what's Christmas without a little extra chocolatey indulgence? Cookies are classic. They never fail to make people smile. What I love most about cookies and fudge is that they come in so many different flavors. You can go from classic chocolate chip to spiced gingerbread, from rich peppermint fudge to creamy peanut butter swirls. No matter who's on your gift list, there's always a flavor that feels like it was made just for them. And let me tell you, I've had a lot of fun playing around with gingerbread over the years. One year I added orange zest, another year I swirled in espresso powder, and last Christmas I dipped the edges in white chocolate so they looked like snowy little ornaments. Each version tasted totally different, but every single one was a hit. Sometimes I go traditional with flavors like gingerbread cookies with royal icing, because no Christmas feels complete without them. But even gingerbread itself can be so much fun to play with. You can add orange zest for a citrus twist, a little espresso powder for a coffee kick, or even dip the edges in white chocolate for a snowy look. I love experimenting with different spices and glazes to keep it interesting year after year. And here's a fun twist most people don't realize. Gingerbread cookies don't always have to be that traditional brown color. You can actually make them bright red or green, and when you do, they look absolutely stunning, paired with crisp white royal icing. It's such a bold, festive contrast that people almost hesitate to eat them. Almost. Give it a try sometime. You might surprise yourself with how much fun colorful gingerbread can be. Other times, I branch out into different flavors altogether. Peppermint, orange, cranberry, or even chocolate-dipped shortbread. The beauty of both cookies and fudge is that they come in so many variations. There's truly something for everyone on your list. And if you're curious, you can find all of these recipes over on my blog at Arina Photography, so you can try them yourself and maybe even start your own tradition. Now let's talk fudge, because fudge deserves its own spotlight. Everyone knows the classic chocolate square, but fudge doesn't have to live its life in neat little cubes. Over the years, I've made so many different versions: rich dark chocolate, creamy peanut butter swirl, cookies and cream, salted caramel, maple pecan, and even a wild one with crushed pretzels for that salty sweet crunch. Each one brings its own personality to the holiday table, and honestly, people are just as excited to discover new fudge flavors as they are to find their favorite cookies. Here's a fun tip you might not know. Fudge doesn't always have to be cut into traditional squares. You can pour it into cookie cutters, stars, trees, candy canes, and let it set right inside. The result? Adorable, perfectly shaped fudge pieces that look like little edible ornaments. They're almost too pretty to eat. Almost. It's such a simple trick, but it turns fudge into a personalized, festive gift that feels extra thoughtful. Imagine opening a box and finding not just plain blocks of fudge, but little peppermint fudge stars or peanut butter fudge hearts. That's the kind of surprise that makes people remember your gift long after the holidays. And yes, I've tried this too, and it was every bit as fun and messy as it sounds. And because my daughter has a whole crew of skating friends and coaches, I always make a big basket of individually wrapped cookies for her to share. The kids get so excited. You'd think I was handing out gold, not sugar cookies. It's such a fun way to spread the joy beyond just family. Presentation is truly the first step of a gift. I've received a few presents over the years that looked so rough on the outside, I honestly didn't even want to open them, let alone taste what was inside. Yes, it can be that bad. That taught me quickly that how you package something really sets the tone, sometimes even before the person notices what's inside. Now, when it comes to packaging homemade cookies and fudge, this is where things get fun and occasionally ridiculous. I've experimented with it all. Plain craft boxes that looked rustic and sweet, shiny tins stacked like treasure chests, even mason jars tied with twine during my farmhouse Pinterest phase. Each experiment came with its own lesson, like the glittery ribbon that shed sparkles over my entire living room. Or the year a batch of cookies busted out of a flimsy box and ended up riding shotgun in my car like a runaway gingerbread gang. I've made enough packaging mistakes to fill a whole podcast episode on what not to do, and maybe one day I will. But here's the big takeaway for now. Packaging is what makes your cookies and fudge shine. It's like dressing them up for a holiday party. You don't want your gingerbread men showing up without their bow ties. So grab some colorful boxes, playful ribbons, or quirky labels and have fun with it. Half the joy is watching someone's eyes light up before they even take that first bite. If you're like me, you'll want to capture your creations before they get devoured or wrapped up. So here are a few quick tips for photographing your holiday gifts. Stick to natural light when you can. It makes your baked goods look more delicious. Use simple props, ribbon, pine cones, or even a few ornaments. They instantly add that cozy Christmas vibe. Photograph your cookies before you wrap them. Trust me, trying to take a pretty picture through plastic wrap is not a good time. And here's a little trick. If you're freezing dough, reuse those jumbo Ziploc bags. Just cross out the old date with a black Sharpie and write in the new one. It keeps you from unwrapping a mystery blob in December. So, if you've ever wondered what to give for Christmas without breaking the bank, I promise you, homemade baked goods are always a hit. They're affordable, they're personal, and they bring joy in a way store-bought gifts just can't. If you want to try my Christmas recipes and see how I photograph them, head over to my YouTube channel and my blog at Arina Photography. You'll find step-by-step recipes, baking tips, and all the tools I use. And honestly, it's like baking together, just with fewer dishes for you to wash. That's the joy of it. The little stories, the laughter, and the memories baked right into every cookie. So start planning now, make it fun, and give yourself the gift of a calmer December. Until next time, happy baking, happy gifting. And remember, if you sneak a cookie off the cooling rack before breakfast, I'll never tell.